Your brain. It's supposed to be your greatest asset, right? A supercomputer, a powerhouse of thought. But for you, it's a prison, a relentless, noisy cell. You overthink everything, every decision, every conversation, every what if. If your mind is a battlefield you can't escape, this video is for you. Here, we deal in brutal freedom. This video is for the mentally exhausted, for the decision-paralyzed, for those who analyze, plan, and simulate every scenario only to do nothing. It's for those tired of their own intelligence becoming their greatest curse. Prepare for a mental detox. We're going to expose why your overthinking is a trap and give you the Stoic tools to finally cut through the noise and achieve unshakable clarity. It won't be easy, but it will be necessary. This isn't mindfulness fluff or meditation for beginners. This is Stoic Punch. Put on your headphones, turn off your distractions, and get ready to silence the internal chaos that's holding you back. You won't like everything you hear, but your freedom depends on it. Let's get to work. Let's face a brutal truth. You're probably smart, maybe even too smart. You see all the angles, all the potential problems, all the possible pitfalls. A simple decision for most people. For you, it's a labyrinth. Should I take this job? What if it's a mistake? What will others think? What if I fail? You replay conversations in your head, dissecting every word you said, every word they said. You plan contingencies for contingencies. You analyze, you strategize, you optimize, and you never actually act. This isn't thinking, this is overthinking. It's your mind, like a runaway train, circling the same tracks, picking up speed, but never actually reaching a destination. It leads to analysis paralysis, missed opportunities, sleepless nights. You're so busy trying to predict the future, you forget to live in the present. You're so obsessed with avoiding mistakes, you avoid taking any action at all. Your intelligence, your capacity for complex thought has become a cage. It's a constant, deafening noise in your head. And while you're stuck in this mental loop, the less intelligent or simpler people are out there, making decisions, making mistakes, and making progress. They don't have time for your mind games, they have lives to live. This is where Stoic philosophy delivers a brutal blow to your overthinking. It's about the discipline of assent and objective judgment. Sounds academic, right? It's not. It's profoundly practical. The Stoics understood that our minds are constantly bombarded with impressions, thoughts, perceptions, ideas. Most people, especially overthinkers, immediately assent to these impressions. They believe every thought their mind throws at them. If your mind says, this is too hard, you believe it. If it says, what if I fail? Zrania, we fall into that rabbit hole. But the Stoics taught, a thought is just a thought. An impression, it's not a fact. You have the power to examine that thought, to question it, to decide whether or not to assent to it and to give it your belief and energy. Marcus Aurelius put it bluntly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Most of your overthinking happens because you assent to every what if, every fear, every potential negative outcome. You treat every whisper of doubt as a profound truth. The Stoic path to clarity begins with this. Question your thoughts. Don't just blindly accept them. Separate what is real from what is merely a projection of your anxiety or fear. This is the first step to reclaiming your mind from its own games. Let's go deeper. Overthinking isn't a sign of superior intelligence. It's often a sign of poor mental discipline. You're treating every thought as a command or an undeniable truth. But thoughts are just data, information, some of it useful, most of it just noise. Imagine your mind is like Google. You type in decision. It gives you 10,000 results. Good, bad, irrelevant. An overthinker tries to click on and analyze every single one. A Stoic, applying objective judgment, quickly scans, identifies the truly relevant, and ignores the rest. They understand that their job isn't to process every single thought, it's to filter them, to discern what is helpful, what is actionable, and what is just mental clutter. This isn't about being thoughtless, it's about being mindful of your thoughts. It's about cultivating a detachment from the endless chatter. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our interpretations of them." Your overthinking isn't caused by the complexity of the situation. It's caused by your interpretation of the situation. By the uncritical assent you give to every fearful or uncertain thought. You're not overthinking because the problem is complex. You're overthinking because your mental habits are complex and undisciplined. The goal is not to stop thinking, it's to think clearly, to think effectively, to think only what is necessary for action. Okay, so how can you, the overthinker trapped in mind games, start applying the Stoic discipline to achieve clarity and decisive action? The key is to apply a clarity filter to your thoughts. 1. The "is this actionable?" filter. When a thought pops up that leads to overthinking, what if X happens? Zarania, did I say the right thing? Immediately ask yourself, is this thought immediately actionable? Can I do something about it right now? If yes, take the action, then move on. If no, let the thought pass. Don't engage, it's noise. Example, you're worried about a presentation next week. Overthinker spirals into every possible mistake, every audience reaction. Stoic with clarity. Filter, is this immediately actionable? Yes, I can rehearse my opening paragraph. Take action. Can I control how the audience reacts? No. Then that thought is noise. Let it pass. 2. The "is this within my control?" filter, dichotomy of control. This is a brutal but liberating filter. Separate thoughts about things you can control, your effort, your response, your choices, from thoughts about things you cannot, outcomes, other people's opinions, past events. Control it, think, plan, act, can't control it, declare it indifferent to your peace of mind, let it go. Example, you made a mistake at work yesterday. Overthinker dwells on the past, regrets, imagines consequences. Stoic with clarity filter. Can I change yesterday? No. Can I learn from it? Yes. Can I fix it today? Maybe. Focus on the learning and the potential fix. The regret is wasted energy. 3. The premeditation of adversity as a clarity tool. Instead of vague what-ifs, specifically imagine the worst-case scenario, but not to dwell, to prepare. Overthinker, vague, paralyzing fear of something bad. Stoic for clarity. What is the absolute worst that could happen? Mentally rehearse it. Could I endure that? How would I respond if that happened? This exercise reduces the unknown's power and often reveals that your worst case isn't as catastrophic as your overthinking makes it seem. It brings clarity by removing the fuzzy, terrifying what if and replacing it with a concrete, manageable possibility. Embrace these filters. They are your weapons against the mind games. They force your thoughts into actionable, controllable channels, cutting through the noise. Here are your Stoic punches to begin dismantling your mind games and forging true clarity. Exercise 1. The Clarity Journal. Grab a notebook or open a digital doc. Every time you feel yourself spiraling into overthinking, the trigger. What thought or event started the spiral? E.g., received an email about a new project. The overthinking loop. Write down the specific thoughts spinning in your head. Jay, will I have enough time? What if I mess it up? What if the boss is mad? The clarity filter application. Apply the "is this actionable" and "is this within my control" filters to each thought, e.g., time, actionable, plan my week, mess up, not actionable now, boss mad, not actionable, controllable. The decisive action. What is the one concrete, immediate action you can take to move forward or gain clarity? I'm on the e.g., block 30 minutes to outline the project scope. The outcome. What happens when you take that action? Often the overthinking dissipates. This journal is a training ground for your mind. It teaches you to quickly identify mental noise and redirect your energy towards productive thought and action. Exercise 2. The single action now rule. For any decision, big or small, that you feel yourself overthinking, instead of trying to figure out the entire path, identify the very next single smallest action required, and then do it immediately. Overthinking. I need to launch this business, but I have to do market research, build a website, get funding. Paralysis. Single action. Now, what's the single next step? Text one potential customer to ask about their needs. Do it. This breaks the chain of overthinking. It forces you out of mental loops and into the real world, where actual progress happens. When you start applying these, your mind will scream. It will say, but I need to think carefully to avoid mistakes. Zrania, what if my single action leads to disaster? Zrania, I need to be perfect. The fear of mistakes. Overthinking is often a defense mechanism against making mistakes, but avoiding mistakes by doing nothing is the biggest mistake of all. The Stoics knew that growth comes from action, even imperfect action. Seneca, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Mistakes are data points. Learn from them. Don't be paralyzed by their possibility. The need to be perfect. Excuse. This is the ultimate overthinking trap. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist in the messy, unpredictable real world. It's a mental construct that prevents you from ever launching, ever starting, ever doing. The Stoics aimed for excellence in effort, not perfection in outcome. Focus on what you control, your intention, your effort, and let go of the need for a perfect result. Embrace good enough to get started. Remember, your intelligence is a tool. Don't let the tool control you. You are the master. You decide what thoughts to assent to. You decide when to move from thought to action. Your life isn't lived in your head. It's lived through your actions. To truly liberate your mind from its games, 2 more Stoic concepts are essential. Concept 1. Memento mori. The urgency of now. You will die. This isn't morbid. It's a brutal reality check. How many minutes, hours, days have you wasted in endless loops of overthinking? Worried about things that never happened? Regretting things you can't change? Your time is finite. Every moment spent in mental paralysis is a moment stolen from your one precious life. When you feel yourself overthinking, ask, if this was my last hour, would I be spending it trapped in this thought spiral? The answer is always no. Use this urgency to snap out of it, to take that one action, to choose clarity over chaos. Concept 2. Amor fati. Love your fate, including imperfection. This means loving everything that happens. Not just accepting, but loving. This includes the messy actions, the imperfect starts, the unexpected outcomes that your overthinking tries so desperately to avoid. When you overthink, you're fighting against the unpredictable nature of reality. Amor fati means embracing the what is, not just the what if. It's loving the process, the learning, the stumbling forward. It's loving the fact that you don't have all the answers. This philosophical love for what is releases the pressure to perfectly predict or control everything. It allows you to act, fail, learn, and try again without the crushing weight of needing a flawless mental map beforehand. It's the ultimate antidote to the overthinking trap. The harsh truth is, your mind games are keeping you poor, keeping you stuck, keeping you miserable. They are a sophisticated form of procrastination, a learned helplessness wrapped in intellectualism. True clarity isn't the absence of thoughts, it's the mastery of them. It's the ability to quickly discern what's relevant, what's controllable, and what demands your action, and then to act. You might have the most brilliant mind in the room, but if you're paralyzed by its own chatter, your brilliance is worthless. It's an unused potential, a silent genius. The Stoic path to clarity isn't about becoming less intelligent. It's about becoming more effective. It's about turning your powerful mind into a precise weapon for action instead of a self-sabotaging maze. The world doesn't reward complex thoughts in your head. It rewards decisive action in the real world. And now for the final, most brutal punch. The one that exposes every excuse about needing more time to think things through. Your death. When your life ends, what will be your legacy? A mind full of brilliant, perfectly analyzed, but unexecuted plans? A history of almosts and what ifs because you were too busy processing every single variable? Or a life marked by action, by daring, by attempting, by failing and learning, then trying again? Death doesn't care about your perfect plan. It cares about what you did with the time you were given. The Stoic message is clear. Your mind is a tool for living, not for endless contemplation. Use it to clarify, to decide, to act. Don't let its game steal your only life. The truth is, your overthinking is a choice, an undisciplined habit. The Stoic path to clarity offers you a way out. Master your ascent. Filter your thoughts. Focus on action. Stop being a prisoner of your own mind. Start being the master of your thoughts and the author of your actions. What's the one single action you've been overthinking? What's the one thought you need to stop assenting to right now? Take control of your mind. Choose clarity, because your freedom, your progress, and your peace depend on it. Now go and give your mind games a stoic punch.